happy to be here. Myself, husband, and daughter have been coming here for 3.5 years. I just want to say hi, Mom. Mom's here! Woo! I'm just so blessed to be a prayer team captain, and I serve on the outreach team, and I'm just so thankful to be able to speak today, so thank you for the opportunity. One thing I have observed about growth is that it is uncomfortable. One of the reasons why it is uncomfortable is because growth comes in stages. And just when you get comfortable with something, God takes you deeper. John 15, 1-4 says, I am the true grapevine and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't provide fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me and I'll remain in you, for a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. This church has made the most significant impact in my life. We have a supportive and loving community. We have clear direction and value in our marriage and life now. In the earlier months of starting at EC, James and I wanted to get more connected. We had heard about this group called Freedom and how life-changing it was. So we had a conversation about learning more about God, so why not this group? Well, did we ever learn? Freedom is like a crash course for Christianity. It is amazing. It became the foundation of our faith, and we got to learn God's love for us through this. So before attending EC, James was not a believer, and I was just somewhat of one. So through this group, I saw his growth excel, and he was answering questions and sharing personal stories, and it all sounded so good. I believe God used this as a way to reveal my own insecurities, as a way to prune me deeper and develop me into much of what I am today. So when I realized this, I hid. I hid behind my husband's confidence. I hid behind something all of a sudden I didn't know anything about. I literally made sure we did our homework together so I didn't get an answer wrong. There was shame in answering some of those questions. I did not feel comfortable. I felt scared at what my group members would think of me. I quickly realized I had been growing all wrong, without God's direction, growing with reactive feelings like anger and fear and blame and not taking responsibility for my own reactions. Now, can you believe the next semester I was asked to co-lead a group? I was terrified, me, Krissy, being asked to co-lead a group. How could I lead other women? I had never prayed for anyone before. How was I supposed to do this? But God is good. God is faithful. And he placed amazing women in my life that spoke into me with such encouragement and love and support in my leadership and growth. So completely scared, I accepted. Throughout co-leading Freedom, I dug into reading the Bible, listening to more worship music, sought a relationship with God, and spent time with him. It's funny how spending time with someone, you get to know them so well. I made room for him to work in me, in my marriage and in my relationships. A well-fed vine will not wither. It will grow and be fruitful. But be careful, because the enemy tries to use what we have overcome to cause doubt. Do not let him. Listen to God. God is the one who had me the whole time. I didn't even realize it. It even says in verse 3, you have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. You see, he makes way for you. You just have to make room. You just have to take it. I had to stop people-pleasing and worrying, what will they think? The infamous, you've changed. Well, I don't care. I am glad I've changed. I have worked so hard. Thanks. I have worked so hard to become this woman standing right here that God has created me to be. The only opinion that matters is God's, not mine towards anybody or anybody's towards me. Sometimes you just have to leave people behind. It says in verse 4, remain in me and I'll remain in you, for a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. I stayed connected to the word. I wasn't hiding behind James anymore, but walking side by side with him. And from the continued growth, I am now prayer team captain. I work in outreach. I am just so thankful. So as it says in verse 2, he cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't provide fruit and prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more. He pruned shame so I could grow honor. He pruned fear so I could grow confidence. He pruned anger so I could exercise patience. He pruned anxiety so I could grow peace. He pruned jealousy so I could grow security. So what is God pruning in your life? I am believing freedom is in this room. I am believing God will prune shame, fear, and anger, and anxiety, and jealousy off of you. He did it for me. He can do it for you.